Good evening. Welcome to the March 17th, 2020 St. Patrick's Day City Council meeting. Have a roll call, please.
Mayor Webb,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Sullivan,
Here via phone.
Councilmember Aubrey,
Here.
Councilmember LaCuro,
Here.
Councilmember McFall.
Here.
And just for the record, we have two of our council members that are self-quarantining themselves at home, and they are here via phone, and we'll be respectfully answering their questions and hearing from them as well through the meeting. Approval of the agenda, council.
Move approval of the agenda as revised.
Support.
Discussion, dissension. We have an agenda. For this evening, just for an update, just for the general public, we have closed the city council chambers to all public with the new rules put in place by the state of Michigan for the boards and commissions of cities and townships. We are going to follow those rules and conform to what needs to be done. Just so everybody knows that we're not gathering in a crowd over 10. So that will bring us to civic announcements. Does anyone have any civic announcements? I got a few. I want to remind everyone, even though we have the coronavirus going on, that we also have the 2020 census, and I'm sure a lot of people have received it in the mail. March 16th, here's the part of it right here. Recently, you should have received instructions for completing your 2020 census questionnaire online. Local communities depend on the information for the Census Bureau and funding programs that promote the well-being of families, children, and as well equal opportunities to you and your neighbors. If you haven't already responded, please complete the 10-minute 2020 census questionnaire. And it's very easy, it takes a few seconds. Just go online, fill it out. If you have some elderly people or someone that may not have a computer or know how to use a computer, please help them out. This is very important that we get the message out there to be counted. The questions are very, very vague. They're not intrusive at all about your personal life or nothing.
I don't even think it took 10 minutes.
It was very simple.
It was really quick.
Yes, and I want to urge people to have an opportunity to get out there. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, well, folks are lacking some other things to do at this time. It's a good idea to take that census form. Filling out the census form is critical because it has a huge impact on our political representation, what kind of money that we receive from the federal and state governments. It's the most important, critical thing that you can do as a citizen every year.
Mr. Klobuchar, I think it is also important to make sure that this funds our schools. So if nothing else, think about your kids.
Everything that we do depends upon everyone turning in the census form.
Right. Thank you. I got one more thing I want to bring up. I believe Mr. Klobuchar and I were on a conference call earlier today with Oakland County Dave Coulter, the county exec, and there's a few updates that I want to just bring forth. There are 65 cases in the state of Michigan, 23 in Oakland County, 5 between the ages of 5 and 92 years of age, and 4 are critical care. Just want to let you know that the numbers we are seeing now will grow. We're nowhere near the peak of this pandemic. Even with the commercial testing, it's all overwhelmed. If you feel sick, contact your physician. Your physician will deem the necessary protocols and will direct you to where to show up. Unless you have an emergency, if you really seriously feel you have an emergency, please call or go to call 911 or go right to the emergency room. But just don't show up at all these clinics or doctors and just think they're going to be able to take care of you right then. If you have any other questions, Oakland County has a nurse on call number. And I'd like to have these put online.
We can put that, if you have it, mine's
Yes.
written down on my desk, but.
1-800-848-5533. There's also a question number if you have any questions pertaining to any of your facilities, uh, emergency help, anything, you can call them. They have different people sitting there to answer all types of questions. Hotline 248-858-1000. Just want to get that out there. And if you feel this time where you're at home and maybe feeling depressed, I believe we can post a depression helpline number as well.
Yep, we can.
I don't have it with me, but if you could.
The key thing here is to remember that this is a temporary situation.
Yes.
Okay, we will come through this situation. We will make sure that everyone is protected. We will do the best that we can to minimize the impact of the social distancing protocols that are being taken place. We'll try to make sure that, try to make sure we patronize our restaurants that have carry-out and things like that, because it's critically important for them to be able to stay in business during this tough time. And as the mayor said, if you've got symptoms, just don't go to the hospital and ask for a test. Contact your primary care physician.
Exactly.
If you don't have a primary care physician, we'll post a number tomorrow with the Oakland County Health Department. You can call them, they'll tell you what to do.
Yes.
Okay, the hospitals are reserved for people who are extremely sick and are having breathing problems and need immediate treatment.
If you feel you need immediate assistance, call 911 and don't hesitate. Our fire department will come out and assist you.
Right, but if you really need it, not because you have the sniffles or you have
You're feeling
something you
distressed.
think, right.
Total distress. I mean, really need someone. But where our resources are already being taxed with other people's needs as well. The daily needs, day-to-day, is also the things that our city emergency responders handle every day. And then we also have the coronavirus, which we're all trying to figure what's the new norm. We don't know yet. And from what I'm hearing, we're still going to be doing this for a few more weeks, as everybody has seen on TV.
And with that,
Let's move forward. Public discussion.
we have some that we'll forward any public discussion. Obviously, there's no one in the public today here, so we will forward anything. We
Did
don't.
get an email asking, a couple of them, if there would be a four-way stop put at Mahan and Patel, along with Mahan and Vassar. The stop signs cannot be seen when the cars park right up on the stop signs during different times of the evenings.
You got 2 bars at each.
You got 2 bars at each corner.
We'll make sure those stop signs are visible that are running from east to west, but I don't know that a stop sign there is close as it is to the other street.
I want to know whether or not the
Right.
lines were painted further
Yep.
back, maybe, to keep cars from parking so close up on the sign.
Yep, we need to take a look at that.
I think that might be some remedy. Mr. Councilman LaCure, did you have one?
Yeah, somebody was calling about how long will the various city departments be closed? This person was at the courthouse today and was unable to get the information they needed from the treasurer's department. And on a similar note, if you want to discuss this, Mr.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm having some trouble hearing Andy.
Sorry,
To the
Amy, I'll
microphone,
speak
to
up
the
a little
microphone,
longer.
Right to your mouth.
I was repeating questions that somebody had called in, had emailed in. One of them was, how long would the departments be closed? And the woman had come to the courthouse to get information from the Treasury Department, and they were closed. So she was wondering about that, but also there were questions about Water Department being closed. I know we've addressed not shutting off water right now, but just wanted everybody to be able, city manager to be able to elaborate on that.
First of all, our Treasury Department was open today. And the Water Department was open today. So, and the court. So everyone was all here, all the windows were open. Secondarily, we are going to hold off on shut-offs next week. We have very few water customers that are currently shut off now. They have been notified with a way to make a payment arrangement to us to get things turned back on, and we look forward to doing that as soon as we are contacted by any of those customers. So there are ways to pay the water bill. There are things that we can do that will avoid human contact in the payment of those bills. and we hope our residents take advantage of those options.
We do have the drop box outside. Please put a check in it or a money order.
Yeah, no cash.
No cash.
You know, just on a side note, I do want to make sure that individuals understand that even though the water issue is not going to be turned off, you are expected to pay for the water you are using during this time.
Yes.
Very important.
You will have to pay for it eventually, so it's not free. We're not waiving the cost of water. We cannot do that. We have to pay for water from the city of Detroit. So obviously, you will, at some point in the future, be required to pay for the water you use during this process. We're just not shutting anyone off at this point in time because we want to make sure that people have water to engage in basic hygiene practices during this potential coronavirus outbreak.
Okay, just to add to that question, Mr. Klobuchar, we are going to close down, not closing down, we'll still have services available online for the most part.
We will have,
All
right,
services.
we're going to be shutting the windows tomorrow. We're not going to be open for walk-up services in City Hall to the general public. We will be open for service. You can call us, you can send us an email. We will be monitoring things online. We're going to try to do as much of that as possible. Some services, unfortunately, will be delayed. That's where we stand now. We're waiting for additional guidance and clarification from higher authorities. So if someone needs to access us, call us.
And we will also have that number, we're going to have one particular person handle that, and then we'll transfer your call to the necessary department. And thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And that is also to protect everyone as well, and our employees. Our employees are our biggest asset here, and if we have everybody sick, then we cannot conduct business anywhere.
Right, again, the guidelines are they're on Facebook, they're on our webpage.
So find it, follow it. Thank you.
Can we,
Be patient. Be
can we
patient.
also post on the door the phone number and the email for people to contact if they do come up and don't realize that we're closed?
Yes, I think it may be posted
I think it's
already,
already
but we do have it, we have it on the door.
Already posted.
Thank you.
All right, that will take us to the consent agenda. I'll close public discussion with the comments from the emails as being part of the record.
Move approval of the consent agenda items 1 through 10, please, Mr. Mayor.
Do I have a support? Support for the via satellite phone?
Support. I'll support consent agenda.
Supported by Sullivan.
Yep.
Okay, any discussion on items 1 through 10 of the consent agenda?
Nope. No.
Any dissension? Consent agenda is approved. I just want to go over the approval of a emergency bid for a rear engine replacement for our Vector truck. Approval of a business license at 1400 East 10 Mile, Assico, Inc. Approval of business license for 21029 DeQuinder A&B Body Shop LLC. And approval of the business license at 24047 DeQuinder for Harry's Hydroponics. And I believe that will take care of that part. And item 1 of the administrative reports has been removed for further scrutiny by our city attorney. And we will move into item 2.
Mr. Mayor, we have before you today applications that are pending before City Council seeking approval to operate in marijuana, adult use, actually, I should say, marijuana. Jeff, did you want to come up here and address these?
Everyone, these relate to existing grow and processing, some new grows that were submitted to the city, as well as some new processing. All the processing ones are part of stacked proposals, stacked license proposals. In addition, there is one new lab that is proposed and the other operational secure transport that is before you guys.
Mayor Webb,
Yes.
I
I just wanted to throw out there, in general, the applicants that are not yet operational, I'd request if we can hold off on those for discussion. Well, I mean, I suppose we could have discussion, but I'd like to hold off on those maybe until the next meeting, where we can have some more time to review these in a little bit more detail. There are a few that I'm comfortable with that are already operational. Like I said, the last time we approved the temporary recreational licenses, I'd rather not be giving out recreational licenses to facilities that are not even close to being open. I think that's something we can postpone, but to maybe start discussion on maybe applications number 9, 20, and 27. Those all appear to be operational facilities. One's transport. What was it? Number 27 is transport. Number 20 is an operational grow facility. And number 9, their process, if I understood correctly, their processing is open, and then they're just trying to add in another piece of it. But they're at least all operational.
Say 20?
Mr. Mayor.
9, 20, and 27.
Mr. Mayor, I just spoke with Jeffrey Campbell. We're comfortable just moving ahead on the ones that Councilmember Aubrey is comfortable moving ahead on at this point in time, delaying for another couple weeks. The other licenses for additional scrutiny isn't going to cause any problems.
Do we need a motion?
Is that a motion, Amy?
Can we clarify the numbers?
Can you clarify the numbers again? And Jeff, make sure those numbers are all the ones that are, we're not missing one that has to be. You ready, Amy? Because I have the numbers, but they're in my phone and you're on my phone.
Motion to approve application numbers 9, 20, and 27.
Support.
Just those?
Yep.
Okay, hang on a minute. None of these are up and running at all, or the other ones? Or even in middle construction?
Some are in the middle of construction, some recently pulled permits. There is, I don't know if there's anything imminent.
Would you, I mean, if they're in the middle of construction, wouldn't that be a big deal too?
Yeah, there is. I mean, there is one.
You've got number
38,
39, that's in the middle of construction. Isn't there one on 8 Mile that's in the middle of construction, or didn't even start yet?
Yes.
Which,
Well, there's one on 8 where there's an issue, but yeah, I mean, basically, that can be for further scrutiny if you guys want later on. Right?
yeah, I mean, 721 East 8 Mile, that's not even started, has it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And then, yeah, the one that hasn't really kind of upset you is the one that we approved on 10 Mile that hasn't started either, at all. So,
There's not even a rec application.
Yeah, there's no rec application for that at this point in time. So again,
well, that's what's here.
But with any of the applications, if they're not ready to go, why would we approve any of them and then them sit on them? Because that doesn't encourage them
I
to
get that,
complete
but
their buildings faster.
I
If you,
guess what I'm saying is if they're already in the process, I don't see the problem with it. It's just like if you're doing a dairy stand or something,
no,
or a gas station, if you're in the middle of working on it, you want to make sure you've got your approvals in place, wouldn't you?
I think the truth is somewhere in between.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, we need to encourage them to do that, and if they're making substantial
Well, if they don't complete, they're
progress
not gonna be in
toward that,
business anyways.
so they know and have a degree of certainty that they're gonna be approved, I think you should approve them. On the other hand, if you do approve them, I think that you should approve them with a time frame, and if they're not done within that time frame, they need to come
Isn't
back
this-
before council and find out, and make a case to continue the
I
license.
think most of these say with buildings completed in 6 months on this one. Must be completed in 6 months.
These buildings should have been completed 6 months ago.
It should have been completed a year ago.
And the fact that they're not, which is why I would like to
Sure.
just do a deeper dive into the information that's provided.
Yep.
I think
need
that-
more than a weekend.
If I may, on this, the reason why a lot of these buildings were not completed earlier is because right after we approved medical, then the state and the referendum for recreational came on board.
Right.
And again, the presence of recreational marijuana completely changed the value of medical marijuana and medical marijuana licensure. So at that point, nobody's going to invest a significant amount of money in a medical marijuana facility unless they have some degree of certainty that they're going to be receiving a recreational license. So I can understand from a business point of view, why they didn't move quickly to construct those facilities, because without a rec license, the medical licenses are going to be of very limited value because many of the card holders are going to allow their cards to expire.
I think we've made it clear that we support providing them a recreational license, but if it's been this long and they don't even have a foundation poured, there's other people that can get this job done faster, and maybe are more willing, and they're holding all these, other licenses. Some of these increase the footprint, asking for, a second location, so they're not all stacked, which is something I've expressed concern about, increasing the footprint. I'm just asking for a couple more weeks to do a deeper dive.
That's fine.
There was a lot going on this weekend.
We can
I had
go-
a possible exposure to somebody with coronavirus, and I've been quarantined, and I just need more time to be able to come in and do a deeper dive into these.
Council member, I don't think anybody has a problem with that at all.
We don't have a problem
I
with that.
think that's a good idea. I'm
The
just
only-
explaining why we might have had a delay between the construction of approved medical facilities with the onset of adult rec use.
I'd
Because,
like to hear from them why they haven't done it. I think maybe, you make sense, but I also don't want to speculate too much. I'd really like to hear from them why they're not open, why they're not built, why they don't have walls up. So
yeah, I think that's fine. I think we would all find that discussion very interesting.
The only change I'd like to see is all these other ones that you did not list, they have not started anything.
Except, pardon me, I would like to interject, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
Amy, I'm looking at number 38 and 39, Hyatt Labs on 9 Mile, 523 West 9 Mile near your house. They've done a lot of work.
Yeah, I think, you know what, I think
I
they
wonder if
have
you'd
done,
be
they have done a
throwing that in there.
significant amount of work. I think that would be one I would recommend that you add to the list if that's not an issue or a problem.
okay,
what do you-
they have. Have we talked to them recently to see if they think the standard I was trying to set is, can you be open in 60 days?
Well, I'm looking at what we have here as a standard pro quo. It seems to be the building must be completed and operational and open in 6 months.
Yeah, I think that's
I
what,
think
Jeff,
that's the
did you want to
standard
address
that's
that?
going through
I
most of
think
these.
that actually was said at some point.
I think that's what the ordinance says, 60
Yeah.
days.
6 months.
Yeah, the ordinance says 6 months on the revision, I believe. And basically, anytime that it wouldn't be 6 months, they'd have to come back, as I wrote in the report, they'd have to come back to you guys if they wanted an extension. It's not the administration granting it, then they have to come and grovel and do whatever they need to do to make sure that you guys are good with it.
So we do have some safeguards built in, but you know what? I share your interest with why some of them haven't done anything.
Exactly.
So let's have them come here and just, if nothing else, explain it. But I would recommend if you would please consider modifying your motion to add the two from Hyatt Labs, because I think they would be consistent with the spirit of your motion.
Okay,
38 and 39.
I'll move to amend my motion to include applications 9, 20, 27, 38, 39. But I would like, because Hyatt is not currently operational, I would like a report from them stating when they will be.
Okay,
Just an update.
we can, I'm sure they'll be happy to appear.
Okay. Any-
Supported that.
You,
I support
you
that?
supported it.
Okay,
did
I
support
support
that.
that as well.
You support that? Okay.
Any more discussion? Dissension? Those are the ones that pass. And we will bring, do you want a motion, Amy, at the next, when's the next council meeting?
I think we're gonna have to determine that based upon what's happening with the, you know,
Why don't
with the
we-
corona
You're
situation.
gonna need time to subpoena these people to come to.
Well, I don't think I need to subpoena them. I'm just
What
gonna
I'm
tell them, I'm just gonna ask them. Their license is on the line. They're gonna be showing up here,
I
they're gonna be,
think that, we'll set up a work study,
we,
pull us all, and we'll have a work study with all these.
okay, remember, we are all somewhat at the mercy of corona, so if another applicant
say
would
3
have-
weeks.
Right.
3 to 4 weeks before we have that work
That's the
study.
plan. Our next meeting may be virtual like this, and that wouldn't be a real good forum.
No.
Unless we could Skype them in, but I'd rather look at them.
Rather not, yeah.
What did you mention?
Anyways,
Zoom, some platform?
Yeah, we use Zoom for conference calls.
Right.
There's another way we could, there's better platforms.
Okay,
Skyping, that's just too simple. It's too easy for one person. It's 1-to-1 or 1-to-3, but
Probably do Zoom. We're gonna be looking into it, but I mean, the next scheduled meeting, if I'm not mistaken, Jimmy, is April 14th.
so, look, this thing hopefully will be resolved one way or another by then,
No.
and we will have reached peak and have an idea of where we're at in terms of the spread of the virus.
okay, that takes us to item 3, vacant lot sales. Mr. Gamble? You've had a few of them here.
Just two. One was on East Myers for $10,000, and then the other one is a sort of a side lot, it's a unusual shaped one for
3,000. Okay, we'll take each one of these separately. 654 East Myers for $10,000. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve this, the purchase or the sale, which, of lot, the vacant lot.
Discussion?
Let me finish the motion, 654 East Myers,
Do I have a
for $10,000.
I have a support.
Second.
Any dissension, discussion on that lot sale?
I have a question.
Okay.
Do we know if this is going to being built for personal use or if this is something that may end up being a rental or anything like that?
It says it's going to be construct a single-family home.
Right, but that doesn't
You wanna do-
clarify if
Well, you
is it
can't, you can't regulate property rights
I also don't know if you can build a brand new home right now and
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 make it
charge
sale.
that high of rent.
Yeah, we can't really inquire into that.
Yeah.
We just know that they're proposing construction of a single-family home, correct, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, because we're not getting anything on the back end.
10 grand for a
Alright,
vacant
waiting
lot,
for
that's
you.
pretty good,
Yeah, it's a private sale.
private sale.
it's a private sale, so.
That's a pretty good price for a vacant lot. So, considering where it sets. Okay, Jeff, the other one's 3,000 for,
That was
yeah. Any dissension? That motion passes. 533.
Yeah, and that is not really a buildable lot. Again, it's right at the corner right there.
Okay. I have a motion to approve.
I'll move approval of the purchase of the vacant lot at East, 533
Sale.
East Chestnut?
East of.
You mean sale?
Sale.
Okay, the lot east of 533 Chestnut. Sale.
Sale, you mean, yes.
Okay, well, I'm reading it, and that's why I was question, purchase, sale, I mean, we're approving the offer to purchase.
There you go.
That's right.
How about that?
And I have a second on that.
Second.
I have just more discussion, dissension. That one goes. It takes us to boards and commissions. We'll wait till you ladies come back to.
We do have one appointment to the Arts Council, Councilmember Aubrey, Kathleen Mataldo.
Yeah.
We'd like to recommend her appointment.
Catherine?
Catherine, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I have the name, but
Yes.
it's in my phone, and you're on my phone.
Catherine Montalto.
Catherine Montalto.
Yeah, Yep, she's been attending Arts Council
Okay,
meetings for some time. We've lost some membership recently, and we think she'd be a great addition.
is
To
that your
add,
motion? Is that your
Is that a
motion?
motion, Amy?
yes, motion to approve Catherine
Aldo.
Montaldo.
Montaldo.
Support.
Any more discussion, dissension? Welcome to the board. Any other boards or commissions, anyone want to make a recommendation that we talk about? Okay, that moves us on to new business. New business. We have a change of way of doing business in this city for the next few weeks, maybe months. Please bear with us and have patience.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, under new business, since we are under a state of emergency, I would request that you guys grant me the authority to spend such monies in between council meetings as I need to keep the city of Hazel Park afloat, and I will inform you of those expenditures when they are made.
Have a motion to give Mr. Klobuchar the right to pay the bills, day-to-day bills that come into their city.
Can we word that a little differently? I would.
I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Get the
Don't
attorney wording on
we
that?
already do that?
We already, we pretty much already do that, but let's say this, usually I come to you on expenditures unless they're regularly occurring expenditures that are over, if they're regularly occurring expenditures, doesn't matter if they're $500,000 or whatever, we pay them. If they're out of the ordinary, usually I will come to you if they're over $5,000. I think we need to up that limit to probably $50,000 during this time frame.
For the next 30 days?
Yeah. And again, settling lawsuits and things like that may be in excess, so. But I'm
I would
empowered
move-
under
I'll move
to already do that.
that we authorize the city manager during this emergency for up to 30 days to have a pre-approval for spending, necessary spending up to $50,000.
Second.
Any more discussion? Any dissension to this? Motion passes. 30 days, up to $50,000 in expenditures, if we need to.
Again,
Need it
not
takes us to-
anticipating anything out of the ordinary.
Communications from department heads, we have no department heads here tonight. Communications from the city attorney, do you have any comments you want to make?
I just want to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day, and for the family and friends watching at home, thank you for watching to everyone.
Thank you. City manager?
I just want to thank the residents of Hazel Park for their cooperation during this mess. This whole thing really, truly is something that we haven't seen in this country in quite some time. And I want to thank everybody for their patience, for their willingness to make sacrifices, for their ability to be cooperative. Do not go into the grocery store and hoard. Do not buy 500 rolls of toilet paper. The coronavirus does not make you poop, okay? Be courteous to your neighbors who may need to purchase supplies that they need to have basic hygiene, that they need to eat. No panic buying. The supply lines in this country are still functioning, and we need to do whatever we need to do to ensure that those supply lines still function. Civilization is still here. I encourage you, if you were going to go out to eat, maybe you want to order from a restaurant that's still doing carryout that desperately needs your business to survive. So consider trying carryout from someplace you hadn't ordered from before. We will all get through this. As Mayor Webb said, we were on a conference call today with the county executive. I'll be on a conference call tomorrow with Congressman Levin. We're all working together to try to find the best solution for these problems, and we're the city of Hazel Park. We are the most resilient community, not just in Michigan, but the country. We'll get through this. we've got this, we've got the bridges down, and of course, Michigan's system of municipal finance is fundamentally broken. But we will get through all of these challenges, and we will get through them together because we are Hazel Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman McFall?
I just wanted to remind everybody what the mayor's already talked about with the census. It arrived at my house already. It took me probably about 5 minutes to do it online. All you do is type in the code. That's it's like a 12-digit code that's on the census, and it's quick, easy, and painless. So please fill that out because a lot of funding for our city depends on it.
Let's see, Councilman Aubrey?
I just want to thank everybody for their patience during this COVID-19. People like myself who have to self-quarantine because they're immunocompromised appreciate everybody's extra efforts to engage in proactive hand washing and self-quarantining. But just remember, you can still go out, walk your dog, enjoy a nature trail. You don't have to get cabin fever sitting at home. Please check on your neighbors, anybody like that. Pick up the phone, give them a phone call, especially our seniors, who a lot of the senior centers have had visitation suspended. So it's definitely good to reach out to people by phone. We're going to get a little old school during this and talk to people, keep them company that way. Also want to thank the administration for the water shutoffs, for suspending shutoffs, and working with those who have a current shutoff to get their water flowing again. So really appreciate implementing that. That's all I have.
Councilman LaCuro?
I want to thank everybody for not coming out tonight, and those who I want to thank those who also sent in their questions online, and encourage more of that as people see this the meeting streaming. Send your questions in for us for the next meeting, especially at times like this. Tom Selman's words: "If you love somebody, tell them. If you have children, hug them every day and tell them you love them." And have a safe, self-distancing, quarantining couple of weeks. And happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Sullivan?
I want to also thank everybody for not coming out tonight, which is, fun to say. I want to thank the administration, as Amy did, for really looking into making sure that our residents have water, so they have access to hygiene during this time, and really working in advance of this, working with people to keep their water on in the first place, because I know that is a struggle in our community at times. So it's been great to hear that we don't have a lot of shutoffs to begin with, and that we're able to work with the shutoffs we do have. I want to remind everybody, as Mike did, to make sure you fill out your census sheet. I've got mine already, sending that back. Don't lick the envelope. That's cooties. What else? Do we have happy St. Patrick's Day? Be safe. Probably the safest St. Patrick's Day ever.
Statistics will go nuts.
All right. And that's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody for watching us live stream and on Facebook. I'd like to thank the no audience here for staying home. But anyways, I'd also like to say that earlier this week, I did give a state of emergency for our city. It's something that no mayor wants to do, but under these crucial and trying times, I felt it was necessary that we tried to make sure we put ourselves in a position to recover any potential losses from our federal government or our state government, and speak out as a small community that we are here and we need to stand, we're standing on our own 2 feet. And together, we'll make that happen as a community, and only together. And I think that we're going to weather this storm and come out better for it. We did in 9/11, we did after the Great Blackout, we did after the economy crashed in 2008. We weathered the foreclosure crisis through the 8, 9, 10, and 12. How many more other things can we face? I think we've actually.
You forgot the bridge fire?
Oh, yeah, the
perhaps?
bridge fire
Forgot the
2010,
flood?
9, and then the massive flood of 2014. I didn't make a list this is on top of my head. But I mean, how far can you go and still have crisis after crisis? This is a major world crisis. It's scary. I'm not making light of it. But we, together, as people, humanity, we can make it, and we'll make it stronger, here in Hazel Park especially. And I'd like to thank you again for watching. Exec sessions?
We do have a brief exec session. There are two things that all of your very smart comments tonight did remind me of, and answers to questions that I have. The one thing that we got a request, well, is the city going to declare a rent holiday or stop evictions? The city of Hazel Park has absolutely no authority to do that whatsoever. That was a court action taken by a judge in Detroit that does not cover any place else in the state of Michigan, and unfortunately, we have no power to enact such things as well. And also, we can't waive the fees on credit card transactions because those are fees that are charged to us. Water Department is an enterprise fund, and we can't use enterprise funds for that purpose. So I can't, unfortunately, subsidize those things. So those are the answers to those two questions. Sorry to say no to both of those, but there are legitimate legal reasons why it is not within our power or purview to do so.
Well, if you're facing eviction or something, if you're having troubles paying, you should actually contact your landlord
Absolutely.
and see if you can work out. I mean, this is affecting everyone.
And remember something too, that your landlord may also be having mortgage payments on that property that they have to pay as well. So there is a cascading effect for this crisis, and there will be tons of unforeseen downstream consequences that we will all be discovering from what happened here. The fallout from this thing is going to last a long time. So we'll make a plan. We'll get through it. We always do. We're Hazel Park.
Anyways, we have an exec session, sir. What's it based upon?
Moronis versus 43rd District Court.
I will move that we go into an exec session to discuss pending lawsuits.
Do I have a support?
Support.
Ladies, I'm going to call you back when we get up to my office.